Andrew Coats, and our project is Borrowed Time. I directed it along with
Lou Hamou-Lhadj, and we just won Best in Show here at SIGGRAPH 2016.
In the beginning, we wanted to challenge the idea that animation is a genre, and here in America, it's seen very much as a children's film genre. So we wanted to try to challenge that notion, and then because we work in the feature film industry here in America, we wanted to also challenge what we make on a daily basis and do something different. So we went towards more of a drama with emotional, compelling storytelling. That was like our goal with it. Yeah, a Western fit that very well, and we could start pushing and pulling on what that genre can mean, and what like the stoic cowboy could be if he had emotions, and it wasn't just an honorable character that was like kind of a cliche.
SIGGRAPH is continually like a source of education and inspiration for us. I mean, I've been here numerous times, both as just an attendee and a presenter, but we've never engaged with this aspect of SIGGRAPH. So to have our film honored by the judges and shown in front of all of our peers throughout the industry is really fantastic.
Yeah, it's a real honor. And to screen in front of 2,500 people is once in a lifetime. I mean, that doesn't happen in most festivals, so that was a real treat. Well, one of the biggest challenges we had is the fact that there's two of us directing together. So we're good friends, and we've worked on films together. We worked on each other's shorts, but it's still a conversation that you need to keep open in terms of figuring out what you want to say and finding a way to have a common ground in terms of what the story means to you and like how you're going to direct it. So that was always a challenge, to kind of keep in check with each other and make sure that we were respecting each other's visions and like finding a mutual one together. And it was a challenge that I guess we naturally deal with, and it was like we were aware of it and we knew about it, so it wasn't a huge issue. It was just something that we always were
conscious of,
and
respectful of. I think the other large challenge was not really having a clear idea of how long the process would take us. Our early estimates were a year and a half, of doing this. It was completely on the side, so we had some pieces of paper where we kind of like scheduled ourselves out, and those were quickly out the window.
Yeah, the first one was like January 2011. We finished in October 2015, just to give you an idea of how off that was.
Yep. The palette and that sort of stuff was heavily inspired by various films that we looked at that had the same sort of emotional tone that we were interested in conveying. So The Road was a big inspiration for us, color-wise, for all of the darker, more depressing moments for our main character. But we also looked at a lot of spaghetti westerns and drew for our character designs from some of the more iconic faces in westerns, like Lee Van Cleef, Clint Eastwood,
Sam Elliott.
And just trying to push and pull that and caricature it, but still come up with an original character.
Yeah, we wanted to keep everything grounded and relatable as well, which is kind of why I think that question comes, that why didn't we shoot it in live action, right? Because it is somewhat grounded, but it's caricatured as well, and that was important to us. And the fact that we've been working in animation and love animation, and we wanted to keep pushing on the idea that it can be anything. It doesn't need to have to be live action or not. Animation can literally be anything. A big reason why we made the project was to try different things and to learn different departments and to become like more well-rounded as artists. So it was a challenge we were up for from the beginning. But it was also helpful to get awesome people in the right places to kind of help teach us and like helm those parts of our project, which is a really fun thing to have, like dailies where all the different groups are together and talking about the end goal as like a collaboration, not just like us dictating everything. It was a little bit more collaborative. Of course, we were aiming the ship towards the goals, but having like the artistry of that was like really awesome and inspiring.
Well, one of the things that's particularly challenging on a project like this is everything was volunteer-based. So in order for us to find people to help us in those areas where we didn't have that expertise, we kind of needed to do a certain amount of work to show that we were serious about the project and that we would actually complete something. And that's where being early in the process helped because we were able to model and rig and animate some things and show people like, hey, if you came on and helped us and did some shading or some lighting, it would really take off. And that was, I think, huge in kind of tackling those other aspects of the film.
One of the biggest things I think we learned in this project was that our naivety, our lack of understanding of the complexity and difficulty that a project like this takes is a weapon. It's a powerful weapon you can use to get to the finish line. Because you not understanding how difficult it's going to be is actually really helpful towards getting towards your goal. Because if you actually knew how hard it was, you probably would give up, you know? So use your naivety as a weapon and like your superpower. And yeah, what else did we learn? We learned some more things, didn't we?
I think that's the standout thing, though. Absolutely. I mean, stick with it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you surround yourself with people who will always support you. You know, having a co-director was huge. Whenever one of us was feeling low, the other one was able to pick us up. You know,
and getting a great producer is super important. Like, you have to have a good producer. Like, there's no way to get a movie done on your own without that. At least of the sort of level that we were trying to go for. Smaller things I think you can do on your own. Depends on the scope.